Hi, Ali from Alys Stitchy Fingers here. This is the second part of the clutch purse demonstration, and I've done a little bit of prep while I was uploading the video. Basically, I forgot to mention the extra piece of interfacing that's in your kit. This is to give the bag a bit more body. Now this is going to be stuck on just on the central part of the piece that you don't put your zipper panel in, which is basically this bit. I've put that on the outside, so I've stuck that onto the lining. If you put the zipper part on the lining, then you would put the interfacing on the main part. Otherwise, it's just too hard to get that all stuck down. Now the other bit I did was clipping these corners and making sure that you get right into these two here. I'll show you on this side. So you can see I've clipped right up to that corner there, because that is where there's a lot of bulk. So now I'm going to turn it through to the right side. And we can't sew up the opening yet because we need to put the turn clasp on. Mark was doing the filming, he's smiling, and I'd like to know why. Gorgeous fabric this. Oh, another thing I did was I put that little clasp on, that's for if you're having a handle, and I put that in between the lining on the flat part and the main body. But you don't have to, because it is a clutch purse, so you don't have to have that strap. This is the part where I said there was a lot of bulk, so if you clip right into that corner you get a nice neat finish on that. This is worth taking a bit of time and rolling those edges to make sure that you've got it right to the edge and give it a good press. Obviously I haven't got time to do all that, so I'm just going to make sure I've got as much out as I can. And then if you want to top, well no, don't top stitch yet, because obviously you're going to put your clasp on. You top stitch after the clasp. I don't think I've top stitched mine anyway. Obviously I sewed the opening up. Right, so that is the bag done. So this is the inside, where we've got the part there for the handle. On the other side we've got the zipper part on the back. So we'll put that aside for now and we'll do the zipper compartments. So these have all been cut out and interfaced, and we've got the two zip pieces here. So what we need to do, and this is where it's the best way to show you, is by doing rather than trying to tell you in the instructions, because it makes a lot more sense seeing it. Right, so we've got two pieces, excuse me, dropped it on the floor. We've got two pieces of the main fabric and two pieces of the lining fabric, all interfaced. I've lost one. Where's it gone? Oh, it's there. What we need to do is sandwich these zips in between one of each. So we're going to put the zipper part down, put it in between, so we've got a bit on each end. Same with this one. The zipper pull down, and then sandwich the other layer on top, and it is on the longest edge. I know it is more like a square, but it's 9 by 8, so you're doing it on the 9-inch part, and put the other one on top. Do this on both pieces and stitch across there. You can do it in one go, or you can do it in two goes. It's entirely up to you. I'm going to do it in one for speed, and you can actually pin or clip. I'm just going to check that I'm holding them all together. A zipper foot is necessary if you do it using it on a normal domestic sewing machine. Then do the other one, so just make sure it's all level at this end here. Keeping them level. Stitching all the way across. You'll want your zipper to be smaller for when you're actually attaching these pockets inside. Right, so you will end up with two pieces exactly the same. Open it out, and we're going to top stitch along here. So you've got the zipper sandwiched between the two. Do that on both pieces. That's one. So just pull them level, you can see when they're level, and then top stitch. Again, you'd be better off pressing. When I'm doing this at home, I would do all the steps, I wouldn't cut any corners. You want it to have a nice result when you're finished. There we go, so that's two pieces done. Now basically what you need to do is you want these two to be on top like that, so you've got two pieces together. Bring that back and lay that on top of the zip, turn it over, bring the bottom lining piece to the top and stitch across the top, keeping them level again. This is the easiest way I found out how to remember which lining piece goes with which. So take that out, pull it through, so you will have like that, and then you're going to put this zipper on top in the middle, hold them two together, bring the other lining piece over the top, layer up all those edges and stitch down the top. Imagine trying to explain how to do that. Much easier to show you. Imagine how hard it was for me to work out how to do that. Turn it all to the inside again, sorry, to the right side, and you will end up with, put your zips to the right side, like a little ruffle that goes all the way around, and you've got all the right side there, and then on the inside you've got all the right sides there. Now you've only top stitched one half, so you need to top stitch the other. So open your zips. You don't have to do this, but it does look a lot neater, and you're going to top stitch along there, so keep them all nice and level. And it is a bit fiddly, but it's not difficult. So just make sure you pull all the fabric away so you're not catching any in. Keep moving it, pulling it all straight, and this stops it from catching when you pull your zippers open and closed. And there's nothing worse than getting your fabric caught in your zipper. So take out now you can see it's holding all that fabric back away, and your zipper will work, but I need to undo it so I can do the other piece, and then that's all them done. So you see this one's done and this one's not, so we're going to make it level, start stitching, move all the fabric from underneath and pull it straight. Keep moving it, making sure there's nothing caught, pulling it back all the way across. Take out your fabric. Oops, I think I've unthreaded my machine. Just thread that back up, if you can see. There we go. So now you've got your piece done. Now what you can do is you can put those together and stitch down here. You can zigzag stitch, or you can overlock, or you can just do a couple of rows of stitches, or you could put some glue on. We just don't want it to be fraying. For speed, I'm just gonna stitch right across, because this machine hasn't got a zigzag on it. Cut off all your threads and do the other side. Just make sure they're nice and flat. Take that out. I may just overlock them, which is only a case of zooming around here. And then just go down the edges. If you have an overlocker, that's a nice way of finishing off. But glue or a zigzag stitch will work just as well. While I'm here, I'm going to do the card slot pocket. There we go. So that's my two pieces done, ready to go inside. So what we need to do now is we need to mark inside that actually goes like that. We need to mark this. So we need the pattern piece, which is on the table. And we'll just sneak out and get that. And what we need to do is lay that back on top. Remember that you've got your seam allowances on here, so you're wanting to line this up with the edge here. Fold that back. You need to do a line straight across there. A chalk pencil would have been better, and lay that on the edge there, bring it back and just put a little mark there and there, and repeat on the other side. I know it's very hard to see. I'll see if I can do it in biro and you might be able to see better, because it's going to be enclosed anyway. I can just about see it, but it might be difficult for you. So that's one, and then I can see the other one is there, and then the other one is there. And then repeat on this side. So draw your line straight down. Make sure you've got all these edges right to the edge. On this side, pull it back. Join them up. There it is. There we go. I'm not going to put my clasp on, because you've seen me do that in other videos. But what I'm going to do is just make sure all this is nice and flat, because you would give it a really good press. Lay first of all your card slot one into the center, and what you're going to do, you're going to bring this over the top. This is why it's better off all pressed. Make it as flat as possible, and you're going to make sure that you're catching in all the, I might have to press it, don't want it to go wrong because it is beautiful fabric. We'll give it a really good press. Starch it as well if you've got some starch. I don't know where mine is. You can tell I'm doing this at work. Get all those edges right to the very edge. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you just one side because I don't want the video to be too lengthy, because the other side's exactly the same anyway. So if I just concentrate on getting this one side done, you could top stitch around here because that's the bit that's going to have the clasp in. Right, that's better. Right, so what I'm going to do is put that back on centrally, bring that round, just making sure, clip it, that you're catching in the piece inside. Take the clip off. Don't try to stitch too near to the edge because it's thicker there. Now you need to go back and forth a few times because this is going to be opened and closed. Take the clip off and just have a look down, making sure that you push the piece into the side there and stitch about 3 inches down. That there. Back tack a couple of times. And then take that out. Making sure that you've caught it in. Now we're going to do the other end. So I'm going to make sure I've got all those edges in, and I'm going to start stitching, leaving about 1.5 inches in the middle. It's just so you can get the other end in. I'm stitching about 1/4 inch away from the edge, back and forth a few times, away from the edge of the fold. Right up to the top, back and forward a few times. Take it out and get rid of your ends. Always looks better if you get rid of the ends. And there you can see you've got it mostly caught in. You could go over that again, but that's fine. And then you're going to put the other one, making sure your zips are at the top. Put the other one over the top, and what you're going to do is you're going to lift this up and put it to the edge of there where the line is. Fold that around it. I can see it's not right on the edge there. Fold that around it like that. This is why you have your zipper away. And put a clip on. Push your piece inside, and you can see where the line is down there, just down here. Make sure it's nice and straight. Pushing that so that you're clasping the inside as well and making a wrap around it. When you open it, you can see that you're catching that all inside, and then move this out of the way. So basically push it down, bring that around, take your clip off, making sure you got it all nice and snug inside, and stitch off. Stitching this a little bit more than 1/4 inch away. Over it a couple of times, stitch down, take your clip off. Now go as far as you can before you meet the piece of fabric underneath. And back. Take that out. Snip off your threads, and when you look inside you can see you've caught that in. So now what we're going to do is we're going to lay it back the right way, bring that back up right, lay it all nice and flat inside. Hold the other end, look for the line, put that against the line, wrap it around the edge, put a clip on, push the inside right down so you can see where the line is there, push that around and grab hold of the fabric and pop another clip on. the clips make this so much easier than trying to pin. Now what we need to do is move all that fabric back, take your clip off and stitch down the last one. Stitch down as far as you can go. Take it out, clip off your threads, and there you can see you've got your other piece done. So now the other side is done exactly the same, and that will continue up. So how it works is you've got your pieces here, they all go on top of one another, so you do need to manipulate it a little bit at the first because it doesn't know where it's supposed to be. Flap comes over the top. I've shown you before how to do the clasp. So you put your turn clasp in, and that is your bag ready